Greetings. Things in Times today with you. This evening we'll go straight into some knowledge and some reflection on our mama and some history. So share our link and click on like. Yeah, so Things and Times we're there with you and we are saying something good out here. History.
There's a popular saying that the journey of 1,000 miles often starts with a single step. And so it was for me as I crossed the desert, taking the last few steps and reaching the gates of the fabled city of Timbuktu. It has been one of my life's wishes to set foot in this oasis of learning ever since I first heard about Timbuktu. Like many travelers before me, I too have reached the gates of Timbuktu. Timbuktu the mysterious, Timbuktu the holder of secrets, Timbuktu the center of knowledge. The mythical city of Timbuktu is found at the edge of the Sahara Desert in the country of Mali. Today the desert is slowly encroaching on it, and upon entering the city I was amazed to see how ancient it still appeared. I could only think of former explorers who journeyed across the Sahara to find Timbuktu. Some perished while others survived. The city was for centuries closed to non-Muslims, and whosoever dared to venture inside its walls were quickly put to death. One of my first questions was to find out how the city was born.
The meaning of Timbuktu depends on historians. According to some historians, Timbuktu came from Tin, which means in the local tongue, the Tuareg tongue, the well, and Buktu, that was the lady in charge of nomads' luggages, because when nomads are moving, they leave heavy luggages with that lady. Okay, and with the time, the place took the name of Timbuktu.
Timbuktu was one of the wonders of the ancient world. It was a type of Shangri-La or Atlantis, where people thought that there was a land beyond the deserts of the Sahara, where gold lined the streets and people put gold into their ceilings, and there were famous kings who would lavish their guests with gifts of all different types. And it was a type of sumptuous kingdom where desert Bedouins would meet with the people of the rivers, and all types of travelers from different parts of the world would gather. Timbuktu became one of the most important southwestern capitals, where they could send scholars, they could get information. Also, the Qurans that were being written in Timbuktu were famous. The beautiful calligraphy, the golden calligraphy, and the type of script and the leather binding was famous. So it became a commercial center, and then later on it became an intellectual center because the scholars generally were traveling with the caravans, and the knowledge was moving along with the caravans. And so therefore it was a natural place for the scholars to reside. So it's a meeting place of agricultural people, of nomadic people, straight out desert people, and scholars came from all of these groups. So when you look at the history of Timbuktu, you will see that the different groups gave their scholarship at different points in history. So Timbuktu has different phases within its existence. And all of the groups participated in the different phases of development. Even though Timbuktu has today lost its former glory, I was amazed at how the city has withstood the elements. The town center is filled with sights and sounds and colors, and the hustle and bustle reminds you of modern cities throughout West Africa. The streets of Timbuktu hold many secrets. I was pleasantly surprised to find that the house of one of the greatest teachers in the history of Timbuktu is still in existence, Sheikh Muhammad Bagayugu, the teacher of Sheikh Ahmed Baba. السلام عليكم، كيف الحال يا شيخ؟ الحمد لله.
يا شيخ كيف الحال؟
الحمد لله.
أهلا وسهلا.
بارك فيك.
خدي مبارك. الحمد لله.
We are blessed here in the house of Sheikh Muhammad Bagayugu to be in the presence of one of his relatives. This is one of the great grandsons of the Sheikh, Sheikh Mahmoud Al-Wangari Al-Bagayugu. And he is the Imam of the Masjid Sidi Yahya and a very important personality here in Timbuktu. بس أعطينا يعني كلمة حول الشيخ حياته.
الشيخ محمد باقيوغو هو كان شيخا كبير وكان معلما للشيخ أحمد بابا السودان الذي أعطي اسمه لمركز أحمد بابا. فهو قد سكن في هذا البيت، فأصله من اليمن. قيل أنه كان في قرية صغيرة لا توجد الآن، هذه القرية تسمى الونقرية، فانطلق من الونقرية إلى بلد يسمى قوم توجد الآن في ساحل العاج، كان في المال الكبير. فمن القوم انطلق إلى جنة للتجارة، تجارة الذهب والكولا. فحين وصل جنة تزوج هناك ووجد ابنين، أحمد باغيوغو ومحمد باغيوغو. اسمه محمود باغيوغو، ووجد اسمي ولدين أحمد باغيوغو ومحمد باغيوغو، هما أتوا هنا في تمبكتو وسكنوا في هذا البيت. وتوفي محمد باغيوغو في 1592 ودفن في يعني خارج مدينة تمبكتو.
ما شاء الله. وهو كان عالما كبيرا.
كان عالما كبيرا، كان يدرس في جامع سنكوري. أيوة. وكان إماما لمسجد سيداهية، ومن أجل ذلك نحن الآن في الإمامة لمسجد سيداهية. وأنا بالضبط اسمي محمود باغيوغو.
ما شاء الله.
نعم.
الله يبارك فيك.
وكان معلما للشيخ أحمد بابا، والشيخ أحمد بابا يأتوا هنا للدرس، وبعض الطلاب من الجامع يأتون إلى الشيخ أحمد بابا ويطلبون منه أن يعريهم يعني بعض الكتب، ولا اسم أسماءهم، هم يذهبون بالكتب ولا يرجون مع الكتب.
مصاحف وتفاسير.
نعم.
Ever since the first Egyptians discovered the art of writing on papyrus, man gained an efficient tool to record his history on earth. In time, the recording of history evolved into books of knowledge, and in Timbuktu, ancient texts can still be found. Libraries have been set up in the homes of families, and I was fortunate to be allowed access to it. One of the best kept secrets in the city of Timbuktu is right here in this house. The treasure chest of Sheikh Muhammad Bagayugu with his books is here, and our brother Sidi Mukhtar from his family will open up this invaluable storehouse of knowledge.
الكتب الموجودة في المكتبة الآن تتناول جميع كثير من الموضوع. يعني هناك كتب بالنسبة لعلم الطب، وهناك كتب للأحاديث، وهناك كتب للفقه، وكتب التوحيد والتفسير والبلاغة والمنطق والبيان. ولكن نستطيع أن نقول أكثر الكتب في المكتبة تتناول الفقه الإسلامي، لأن كانت تمبكتو يعني منذ قديم الزمن الناس يهتمون بالفقه الإسلامي أكثر من الكتب العلومية كالرياضيات والفيزياء والكيمياء وما أشبه ذلك.
Muslims are known the world over for their hospitality, and in Timbuktu, it's no different. After studying the texts of Sheikh Bagayugu, I was invited to the home of Sheikh Mahmoud, where he showed me some of the artifacts that belonged to his forefathers.
يريد أن يأخذ كل ما في جيبهم وهم يحسوا الطريق هكذا وهو يأخذ من هنا وهو يشيل هذا صح يا الله للمدافعة يعني. نعم.
This is from Toledo. From Toledo.
والأنتيلوب.
أيوة.
قرن الأنتيلوب.
So it's ivory, and then it's your medal, and the horn of an antelope. The scholars of old were all learned men who pursued knowledge because of their love of Islam. Many of them were imams of mosques, and in Sheikh Mahmoud's case, this is no different. As a descendant of Sheikh Bagayugu, he is also the imam of Sidi Yahya Mosque. This is the masjid of Sidi Yahya. It was originally built in the 14th century by Sheikh Ibrahim Hamella of the famous Kunta clan. He had a dream that this masjid would be visited by a famous saint, a wali. And so he locked the masjid for 40 years. Then there came Sidi Yahya at-Tadlisi from Andalusia. At that point, Sheikh Ibrahim realized that this was the fulfillment of the dream. He opened up the masjid, and this mosque has been serving the people of Timbuktu from the 14th century, and it represents one of the most important areas of learning and prayer in the city of Timbuktu. After spending time in such esteemed company, I decided to walk to absorb all that I had seen and heard. I had barely walked a few meters when I stumbled upon the market. The electric atmosphere engulfed me. Before I knew it, I was drawn into barter with one of the tradespeople. I couldn't help but imagine how alive and ancient this practice is. Timbuktu was a place where gold was traded for salt. It was a place where fine clothing, where leather goods, where all types of implements for living were traded by the people. I decided to remain in the marketplace and visit a few more stores. Down the dusty streets and alleyways, one can find amazing hidden treasures. I knew this from my previous travels to ancient cities, and it wasn't long before I stumbled upon a rare book by one of the great scholars from Fez in Morocco. The book was by Sidi Ahmed Zarruq, who did the commentary on the famous Maliki jurisprudence of Risala of Ibn Abi Zayd al-Qayrawani. As I paged through the works of this Maliki scholar from Morocco, my mind wandered to another great scholar, Sheikh Ahmed Baba. Sheikh Ahmed Baba, who was taken prisoner from Timbuktu to Morocco. At the time of his deportation, Sheikh Ahmed Baba had one of the largest libraries in Timbuktu. This is the home of Sheikh Ahmed Baba al-Sudani, one of the most famous scholars of Timbuktu, and a name that is being remembered all throughout the world. Ahmed Baba spent years in captivity in the north, but he never forgot his home in Timbuktu, and he never forgot his responsibility to knowledge. Although many of Sheikh Ahmed Baba's books were taken to Morocco, his legacy in Timbuktu lives on through a documentation center set up in 1967 by UNESCO.
Ahmed Baba Soudani a étudié en Afrique exclusivement dans sa ville natale sans avoir cherché de professeur ailleurs, et quand il a été déporté avec cette culture qu'il a reçue dans sa ville natale, il était de très loin le meilleur des savants de Marrakech et même de l'Afrique du Nord. Si on restitue la maison des professeurs de son Corée, dont Ahmed Baba Soudani, on ne rend pas service à Tombouctou seulement ou au Mali, mais à toute l'Afrique, voire toute l'humanité, parce que ces grands savants qui vont sortir de là vont exploiter les milliers et des milliers de manuscrits qui se trouvent à Tombouctou pour le bien de l'humanité tout entière. Par rapport à son temps, personne n'a défendu l'Afrique, personne n'a défendu le noir plus qu'Ahmed Baba. On a tout fait pour qu'il accepte d'être marocain. Il a refusé et il a continué à s'appeler Ahmed Baba Soudani, Ahmed Baba le Noir, Ahmed Baba Tombouctou, Ahmed Baba de Tombouctou. Les gens qui étaient les professeurs avaient des bibliothèques privées. Ils étaient extrêmement documentés. Et la bibliothèque ne renfermait pas seulement des livres de théologie ou bien autres, mais des livres d'astronomie, de philosophie, de mathématiques, de physique, de chimie, toutes les connaissances de l'époque. C'était vraiment le quartier de l'intelligentsia Tombouctou.
The Ahmed Baba Center has become the focal point of the revival and documentation of the manuscripts of Timbuktu. In 2002, South African President Thabo Mbeki visited the city and was so impressed by what he saw that he set about making the preservation of the manuscripts a presidential project.
This center that we are at now is called the Ahmed Baba Center. The spirit is that of a great scholar who spent his life in pursuit of knowledge and preservation of Islamic heritage. This center, which was founded in 1967, has expanded to the point where it houses over 120,000 manuscripts.
لازم أهمية حاجة للكتب أن هذا تاريخنا القديمة قبل دخول الاستثمار واجب علينا.
تريد أن توسع المكان؟
أيوة لأن الجنوب أفريقيا جنوب أفريقيا يريدون أن يوسع هذا المكان من ناحية إلى مكان أخرى مكان أمر بابا القديم.
Today, the city is at a crossroads. Modernization is coming into the city, and it is changing the lifestyle within Timbuktu. The scholars are hanging on to the scholarship. They are bringing forth the documents and trying to let the younger generation see that they have a great tradition. They should be proud of themselves, proud of being Africans, proud of being Muslims, and not ashamed of their color, not ashamed of their identity. But of course, modernization, globalization is striking Timbuktu as it is striking the rest of the world. So the scholars are now in a struggle to try to bring Timbuktu into the modern world, to digitize their libraries, to use modern technology, but at the same time keep that spirit from the ancient world, from Timbuktu when it had reached such a high level within West Africa. The state of the books really is in crisis. Weather has deteriorated the texts. Also the termites, beetles are eating away from the paper and eating at the different bindings. And so literally it is a race, to preserve that knowledge that was left from the past. And so scholars are coming forward, families are coming forward and realizing you don't have to give away your treasure. Now a picture can be taken and then we can categorize this, we can preserve the picture, and then they can preserve their text. And also what is being done is that documentation centers are being developed where the actual texts themselves can be preserved in an air-conditioned climate, and they can be treated in such a way that the materials can be preserved for coming generations.
In his speech, I Am an African, President Mbeki talks about making the 21st century the African century. These words carry deep meaning, but it's not only to the future we need to look. Africa's past legacy speaks volumes for itself. The first universities in the world, as well as many inventions, can be attributed to the pioneers of Africa. Timbuktu had its own chapter within this history. When I first laid eyes on Sankore University, I imagined the thousands of students who graduated from here. Timbuktu is hot. In fact, it is unbearably hot. With temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius, one has to wonder what made them come here and what made them stay. The prophetic saying, "Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave," acted as one of the wisdoms for the students at Senkore. They were spurred on by their Islamic beliefs and excelled in medicine, astronomy, theology, Islamic law, and a host of other subjects.
6 years ago, we discovered a manuscript dealing with mathematics, and it's dealing with algebra. We translate it into French. We send it to Paris to know the level. As a result, the same program is given nowadays at the second year of mathematics school in France. And that manuscript or that program was given here at the University of Sankore by the 16th century.
Now, when we deal with Islamic scholarship, you deal with the concept of fatwa. And a fatwa is a religious decision that meets special needs in a special environment. So therefore, for instance, when decisions had to be made about currency, how much should we charge for gold, or should we tax the travelers, they would go to Timbuktu and ask the scholars, give us a fatwa. When they wanted to decide between borderlines of empires, they would ask for a fatwa in Timbuktu. The scholars in Timbuktu were also known as peacemakers. Whenever there was a difficulty in different parts of the world, of the West African world, they would go to the area and they would make peace. Timbuktu became a pinnacle of knowledge and a sort of grand court, a supreme justice, where the ultimate decisions could be made for the kings, and where at the same time a common person could find a scholar and have a religious decision made. Islam, by its very nature, encourages people to read. The first revelation given to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was Iqra. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord who has created. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, actually said, Al-hikmah dalatul mu'min, that wisdom, knowledge, is the lost property of a believer. Anywhere he finds it, he is the most deserving of it. Islam benefited humanity in that it gave a type of tawhidic, a unified approach to creation and a unified approach to knowledge. So Islam then unifies the concept of one God. It unifies the human race. So black, white, brown, and yellow all see each other as part of one family. Also, there's a type of tawheed or unity in knowledge. So Muslims were able to gather the knowledge of people from all different societies, put it together in the light of their understanding of one God, and then develop a system. Algebra, calculus, trigonometry came out of that unified approach. The scientific method, the concept used by the world today to approach science, was actually developed by Muslims in the Golden Age.
ألف لام من ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه معروف في مدينة تمبكتو بدأ حياته الأولى في الدراسة في أروان ثم بعد ذلك
Even though there's a good documentation process, some families choose to hang on to their own private collections. In some cases, the books are not taken care of properly, and some very important works may be lost. Other private libraries, however, take great pride in the works they have and go to great lengths to maintain them. I visited the Mahmoud Kati Library, where I was pleasantly surprised at the condition of the place.
One of the most unique collections of manuscripts in Timbuktu is the Sheikh Mahmoud Kati collection. This was based upon the connection between Andalusia in Spain and West Africa, whereby the great-grandfather of this family migrated from Andalusia in the 15th century and married the daughter of Askio Muhammad Touré, the great leader of the Songhai Empire. Their son, Mahmoud Kati, became a great scholar and wrote Tarikh al-Fattash, one of the most important histories of Timbuktu and of West Africa. This collection is now available to the public. The family has come together and gathered their works, and they are showing it to the public, and it is now one of the most important and unique collections of Arabic manuscripts in this city.
Alors, je vous avoue que notre collection, c'est une collection privée, mais ça n'a pas d'importance. Et tout le monde islamique d'Afrique peut bien profiter de notre collection et ils peuvent venir trouver leur savoir dont il y a des siècles que c'était fermé et aujourd'hui vraiment que la porte elle est ouverte à tout le monde et tout le monde peut venir consulter ces documents. Comme je le disais tantôt, il y a des traités de sciences, donc le savoir scientifique inter-arabe, inter-d'islam est là. Le savoir historique en terre d'islam est là. Et la magie, vraiment la logique, les mathématiques, tous les savoirs dont les hommes de culture ont besoin est dans notre collection et ce n'est fermé à personne. Le monde africain peut venir consulter ces documents et travailler avec nous, avec les possibilités et les moyens que nous avons.
After the Ahmed Baba Center, probably the most well-known center for the collection of documentation is the Mama Haidara Memorial Library. Mama Haidara himself was one of the most well-known collectors of manuscripts in the Timbuktu area. And he left a very large responsibility to his young son, Abdul Qadir, who was 17 at the time of the death of his father. Abdul Qadir, since that time, has been able to collect over 12,000 documents for the Ahmed Baba Center and then establish his own memorial library for his father and his previous generations and for all those who have collected these manuscripts in the Timbuktu area.
المركز طبعا مخطوطاته قديمة لأنه توارث من جد إلى جد منذ إلى حفيدي الأسفل وهي عبد القادر مما حيدر والمكتبة هي قديمة جدا والمخطوطات أيضا قديمة جدا منذ في القرن السادس عشر. والمخطوطات لها فوائد كثيرة غير هذا. الفائدة الأول وهي محافظة التراث.
Timbuktu's fame became international, partly due to the ruler of Mali, Mansa Musa. In the 14th century, Mansa Musa undertook a journey that was to become legendary in the annals of history. Pilgrimage to Mecca is incumbent on any Muslim, but when Mansa Musa embarked on his pilgrimage to Mecca, he crossed West Africa and the Sahara Desert with up to 72,000 followers.
Timbuktu was also very important for the rulers of the region because it represented the intellectual capital. Mansa Musa was one of the great kings of the Empire of Mali, the premier producer of gold and exporter of gold in the world. So naturally, the kings of Mali were considered to be some of the richest people on the face of the planet Earth. Mansa Kankan Musa, in the year 1324, set out to make his pilgrimage to Mecca. But what was different about his journey is that he carried somewhere between 60 to 72,000 followers with him. He carried 15,000 camels laden with gold and many soldiers, and they literally changed the economy of every country that they reached. He not only came back with his followers, but he brought along with him architects, scholars, and artisans. It is said that everywhere Mansa Musa stopped, he built a mosque. Every time he stopped. When he reached Timbuktu, he fell in love with the city.
He brought with him an Andalusian architect called Abu Ishaq Esaidi, and he paid him a lot of money to build the huge mosque of Jingareber that is nowadays a World Heritage Site.
On Mansa Musa's return from pilgrimage, his wish was to visit the city of Timbuktu. When he arrived here, He was astounded at the level of knowledge of the scholars. His gift to the city was the Jingari Bear Mosque. Today, the Jingari Bear Mosque is still the main mosque in Timbuktu, and this is most evident at the Friday Jumu'ah prayers.
This is the site of the Jingare Beer Masjid and Masjid al-Kabir. It was founded in 1325. From that time until now, Friday prayers have been held and all of the people of Timbuktu come to this major masjid.
ويتبع رضوانه ويجتنب سخطه ويختفي سبيله حتى ينال من خير الدار نسوله وعمله. من يطيع الله ورسوله فقد رشد واهتدى وسلك نهجا قويما وسبيلا رشدا. الحمد لله رب العالمين. فاذكروا الله يذكركم. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
The learning in Timbuktu has not stopped either. All across the town, Islamic schools empower young children through the Quran. They still recite, read, and write in Arabic.
This is a typical Quran school in the Jingare Bear section of Timbuktu. It was founded 3 generations ago by Sheikh Muhammad Lamin, and his people came out of the Sahara Desert region. And in this tradition, the madrasa continues on with over 120 students. The students are memorizing the Quran. They are on all different levels of study. And as part of their life as a student, not only do they memorize the Quran, but they also work and they prepare their own food, and it becomes like a community within itself.
The women of Timbuktu have always been involved in intensive learning. Today, study circles are popping up all over the city, where women receive a complete Islamic education. This is an important development, for when you educate a man, you educate an individual, but when you educate a woman, you educate a family.
Timbuktu today is special in the sense that Timbuktu flies in the face of myths of racism. It destroys the myth that black people, that African people are ignorant people. It destroys the myth that literacy and science and progress was from the north and it came south. So it flies in the face of the north-south racist type of concept, because this is now knowledge in the south and it is going north as well. Also, Timbuktu at its height, and you're talking about from the 12th century and then reaching by the 16th century its height, it has a university like Sankore University with over 25,000 students. Now this is long before Sorbonne and before Oxford University, University of London. So at that time, black African people were at the pinnacle of knowledge. They were not only studying Islamic subjects in the sense of Quran and Hadith, but they were also studying math, science, medicine, geography, optics. It is said by Asadi in his Tarikh al-Sudan that one of his relatives needed to have an eye operation, and he went to Jenne, the city of Jenne, and this was actually successful. So they were performing cataract eye operations. And so they reached such a high level of science and astronomy. And so this astronomical knowledge, this mathematical knowledge, was, on a very high level here in Timbuktu. But one of the areas that is not spoken of so much is the knowledge of spirituality, that knowledge of ihsan. How do you purify your soul? How do you come closer to the creator of the heavens and the earth? The scholars in Timbuktu and the Sahara region were able to go to a very high level of this spirituality and to actually train people how to clean their souls and how to prepare themselves for death. So Timbuktu is a very important meeting place of materials and spiritualism. So it is a place where your materials no longer control you. Your spirituality controls you. Your materials sustain you. And so in that sense, Timbuktu is one of the greatest centers of learning, not only in Africa, but in the world.
serious heights in relation to
354 kilometers from the city of Timbuktu lies another great place, the city of Jende. It is regarded as the oldest known city in sub-Saharan Africa and has a mosque built of mud at its center.
Behind me is the great mosque of Jende. This mosque is the largest mud structure on earth. The Mali Empire, by the 14th century, was greater in size than the Roman Empire. And so Jende and Timbuktu became two of the great centers of learning and spirituality for the whole of West Africa.
The temperature in this town can reach well into the 40s, but step inside the mosque and the heat is almost forgotten. A cool air makes it quite bearable for the faithful to fulfill their daily prayers. The first mosque was founded when Sultan Koi Konboro embraced Islam and converted his palace into the mosque. Little is known of how the first mosque looked, but this one today was built in 1907 after it fell into disrepair. The mosque is indeed one of the great achievements of the Muslim community of this ancient town.
Behind me are the Dogon Cliffs. This is said to be one of the wonders of the world. The original people, the Telem people, used to build their houses in the sides of the mountains. When the Dogon came in the 11th century from the Kingdom of Ghana, they settled in this area, and from that time until now, they have built their society into the sides of these huge cliffs.
Dogon country is indeed a fascinating place. No journey to Mali would be complete without visiting this strange but intensely remarkable area. I remember walking up the cliff and being overcome by an eerie feeling. The Dogon can be found all along this area known as Bendiagra, and the cliffs in front of me are known as Bendiagra Cliffs. I was immediately struck by the little houses I saw all along the base of the cliff. The Dogon live here, and these strange houses are actually granaries used to store their millet and grain. My path went up, over, and around the neighborhood. The guide explained that the size of the granaries also gave one a good indication of the wealth of the person it belonged to.
Grenier homme, femme, et là-bas interdit, on ne peut pas partir. Et là, maison Ogon.
Originally in this area were living the Telams. It's a mythical tribe living in these caves, you see behind here. And who found the Guruma who were red people. And the Telem were living in this level, and who were considered as magic people. And later came from the Ghana Empire, the Dogon, and who was also enemies. The tribe accepted the Dogon because they were both enemies. Yeah. And historians said that most of this magic power Dogon now have is from these Telems. In a village is considered as a human body with a head, a thorax, stomach, legs, and arms. And here is considered as the level of the navel.
The navel.
Yeah, the navel of the village. Yeah, and only known by the elders. Everybody don't know really where the different parts of a village are, because he said that if somebody knows other part of the village, an enemy can easily do bad thing to this village.
Looking up at the cliff, I could see all these little holes and wondered what they meant. My guide explained that these were actually their burial grounds. I was dumbfounded by this and was eager to learn more. It turns out that the Dogon are very able climbers, and they bury their relatives in the cliff. A member of the family usually makes the climb up and ensures that his relative is accorded a decent burial. The holes in the caves are used for ventilation. Thereafter, I visited the Tsaguna, the Dogon's version of parliament. Here they discuss issues of pressing concern to the community and also resolve conflicts. Inside, the Taguna's roof is very low, another odd feature, but one that serves a specific purpose. The roof is built so low that when tempests flare, no one can jump up and accost the other. They have to be careful of losing their temper because they could just bump their head when jumping up. Outside, it's decorated with mythical figures of Dogon religion. The scenes depict everyday life as well as religious symbolism. After my visit to the village, I was treated to an ancient spectacle performed more for money these days than anything else. A dance known as the Dhamma shows us the journey of the soul to its final resting place. The masks are also symbols of this journey. For one whole day, these dances are performed after the person's death. Dogon dances have great meaning, and their secrets are only being understood today. Maybe in the near future, outsiders will fully understand this ancient culture. For me, however, my time in Dogon country was indeed worth it. Africa had again unlocked one of her secrets.
Don't make no fuss. Yeah. So we're going to bring one of our big sheikhs into the information.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalat wassalam ala rasulullah. The brain. The brain is the most complex organ in the body and made up of more than 100 billion nerves that communicate in trillions of connections called synapses. The brain weighs about 3 pounds in an average adult. It is made up of about 73% of water and 60% of fat. The brain controls our thinking, memory, emotions, motor skills, vision, breathing, temperature, hunger, and all the process that regulates our bodies. To enhance a healthy brain, you need to have a healthy body. Perceive as the brain, and that everything which we perceive that they are the functions of the brain are indeed from the heart. A simple Holy Quran's explanations of the heart, and they concluded in their research that indeed it is absolutely wrong to attribute the functions of the heart to the brain. Inshallah, that will be my next presentation next week. Authoring a similar book like the Holy Quran is beyond the capability of both mankind and extraterrestrial entities. Indeed, each letter, each word, each verse, and each chapter of the Holy Quran has vibrational sequence, frequency resonance, electromagnetic force, and a law of attraction that cannot be compared to any book in existence. Nonetheless, our stimulates brain chemicals, thereby improving blood circulation to the vital centers of the brain. In Quran chapter 38 verse 42, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches mankind thus: exercise with your feet and bath and drink only room temperature water. 2. Adequate quality sleep also improves brain health, thereby reducing one's chances of getting Alzheimer's disease and dementia in old age. Sleep is not about how much is enough. It is about quality sleep. Someone can sleep for 9 hours and wake up still tired, and another person can sleep for 5 hours of quality sleep and wakes up refreshed. Deprivation of sleep is the root causes of many health problems. Quality sleep automatically reduces inflammation of the human internal organs in the body. Number 3, balanced diet. This calls for self-discipline. In other words, eat your food as medicine, and that will obviously make you healthy. Plant-based food like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains are recommended. In addition to that, fish fats, and seafood in general enhance healthy brain. Fats such as olive oil, coconut oil, and shea butter also improve brain health. 4. Avoid emotions and stress. Most sick people have that condition of emotional stress. You can change the condition by thinking positively. Those of our clients who patronize Salawat Health Restoration Hospital are advised to put up smiling faces and think positively. The results of the two are enormously helpful as far as health is concerned. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran chapter 36 verse 33 to 36, Allah declares, "And it is a sign to them that the dry earth will send rain and give it life to bring forth from it grain so that they eat it." Now these are the food that are recommended by the Almighty Allah to enhance healthy bodies as well as healthy brain. In Quran chapter 36 verse 33 to 36, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declares, "And it is a sign to them that the dry earth will send rain and give it life to bring forth from it grains so that they may eat from it. Then we create therein gardens of palms and grapefruits, and we make springs to flow forth in it, that they may eat from their fruits." And what the Ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Because we don't want to confuse people's brain about Islam. We don't want to confuse people's brain about what some people probably thinking that I'm doing. So bear with us and stick with us and share what we are giving, projecting. You understand? Because so much people talk about a lot of things. We are projecting what millions of us as Africans, what we live, not what we talk, what we live. So why you hear this sister here now, cause another aspect, because some people that say it's just man. So here what happen? We have a balance. See? We have a balance.
When I think of Savior's Day, the first thing that pops to my mind is save yourselves and your family from a few whose fire is men and stones. We know Savior's Day is a tradition that reminds us of the importance of elevating ourselves to reach our full potential, our full human potential. Let there arise from amongst you a group who will call others to goodness, encourage what is good, and forbid what is evil. Anything that we do begins with ourselves. Allah tells us He will not change our condition until we change what's in our souls. So we have to start within ourselves. We are constantly evolving. We are constantly affected by things in the world. And we have to self-reflect. We have to take self-assessments and purify ourselves. When we look at building sustainable family and community life, building is the process of elevating or creating. Sustainability refers to the resources, the people, places, and things that we need to maintain something. It is applicable to life in all stages. We look at family. We can talk about our immediate family, our extended family, school family, your work family, and of course, our community. We want to live a great life and give life to all that is good. So we want to inspire each other to be the best Muslims, the best people, the best believers that we can be. And that's how we're going to give life. We're going to elevate each other through modeling the examples of Prophet Muhammad. These are ways that we can give to humanity. We want to be contributors to the success of the human being and not contributors to the dysfunction. We always go back to the Quran. That's the solution for everything. It should change who we are on the inside. If we are sincerely going into the Quran with an open mind, body, and spirit, there's no way you can come out the same person year in and year out. We as a people must strive hard to preserve our faith.
And that's very true. You see, so that's why we are trying to set up anyone to read, get a Quran and read for yourself. Don't read to create argument with somebody and you have this thing about make competition and everything. Read for yourself. You may find something, you may find the Quran suit you. You may find say, yo, I didn't know this thing already. You may find say, it not do nothing for you. You understand? But then it make it inquisitive because you say, sure, let me try finish it now. You understand? Because it capture you. You see it? So now don't bother with the comparison things. Just read for yourself, suit yourself, and then you find out. So here my sister again in a car.
Our extended family, school family, your work family, and of course, our community. We want to live a great life and give life to all that is good. So we want to inspire each other to be the best Muslims, the best people, the best believers that we can be. And that's how we're going to give life. We're going to elevate each other through modeling the examples of Prophet Muhammad. These are ways that we can give to humanity. We want to be contributors to the success of the human being and not contributors to the dysfunction. We always go back to the Quran. That's the solution for everything. It should change who we are on the inside. If we are sincerely going into the Quran with an open mind, body, and spirit, there's no way you can come out the same person year in and year out. We as a people must strive hard to preserve our faith, courage, and God-given reserve.
See it there? That way I say. So nobody can come tell me, say, yo, you deal with some hypocrisy. Read it for yourself, you know. See it? Anybody tries to throw them bricks at me, read it for yourself. Hold this. Yes, we're still there with things and times, you know. Don't get confused. Hold tight.
Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening?
You better.
Are you listening?
Pay attention. Oops. Are you listening? At ease. Pay attention. What a song, eh?
Are you listening? Are you listening?
Yo, we are teasing, you know. Watch it. Come again. Family. Okay. Hold tight. Hold tight, man. We'll go down Alabama. Come. Yes, park that up and come again. Yo! Oh, yes, man. I wanted to bring the bees, but too much information that's caused blockage. You understand? That's why you have different subjects. So too much information in one innings, you understand? That's caused blockage. So we get Timbuktu, make you know, so we that. And many of the properties have been modernized. A lot of money are being spent, a lot of work. I'll know. You understand? Things are going on, you know? A lot of preservation and all kind of things is happening by the Africans. You understand? And they will bring you one of our great scholars. Yeah, elder, you see? Okay. So we'll keep do that and try attract the minds, because so much people that deal with mythologies and mysticisms and so forth and racisms and everything. We lose ourselves and make it seem that we're not a valuable people. We're only valuable to racial bigots, and you understand? So then we get ourselves, like I'm saying, we get ourselves bogged down with them. Not that they don't exist, you know, but the more time I spend with their existence, I leave myself behind. You understand? So I can be a martial artist and prepare myself just in case. You understand? It's called defense. But I have to have offensive talent. You understand? It's not something you just wake up and get offensive, you know. You have to learn. See? You have to have patience and tolerance to get offense. So offense for me is education, lot of information, and to know that we are important people. You understand? We're not just there with slavery and the racism and all these things, you know. Racism being inflicted upon us, and unfortunately we have not done anything to criminalize it and dash the people them into court. You understand? The abuse is still there. But it traps me. It mentally traps me. I'm saying that. I don't know about others. See? So the Prophet shows us, you know, move along. See? Because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that feeds us, take care of us, sustains us and cherishes us. See? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all human beings to reach their excellence. See? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never make us with some form of imperfection. He created us and gave us a mind, gave us a brain, intelligence to seek our excellence. See? So if one don't understand, try to understand that, then you don't know why you're here. You're trying to figure it out. And you're not even trying to figure it out. You just like, get on. You're just getting on. See? So when push come to shove now, some people are swear that God not like them. And that's what these people are tell us. That's why the Ham, Sham, and Japheth, all them things, they're racial things. And then they want to make God to be part of their own thought process. See? And then tell us that God not like us, so everything that black and we're dark. See? So we fit into that category. You understand? Their category, not the category of God. So all of a sudden now, you understand, we're left out. We're left out. You understand? And nobody can come tell me that I've got it wrong. Is you not think for yourself. I'm thinking for myself. And I've got eyes and vision. You understand? And I'm in love with the creator of this earth. Of this universe, not this earth. Listen. I know some of y'all say, when am I going to play the tune then? Listen lyrics, man. Don't bother with the... Listen lyrics. Hold tight. Sing, my brother.
Out of one life, with all your mind, never let go. The good thing that you know, let no one push you around, let no one keep you down, let no.
Yeah, you see me? If they hide them out there, where we go, Church of Israel, you know some come from somewhere. Listen, come again. You're big-headed boy, I tell you. Your head too big. Slap him! Yo, take your foot down, man. We are deal with. We say slap him now. We are try kick. Yeah? We're martial art, you know. You think so Africa don't have them art there? Art you down. You understand? Okay. Take your foot down, boy. Yeah. Church of Israel, come.
I sit down, keep it hear me, yeah.
Fling some words out there, man. Please open up your ears and listen. Take your foot down, boy. Yeah, joke. Listen. Sending messages.
I sit down, keep it hear me, yes, yes, yes. But what must be said?
You know what we are saying? We are present to some, and we are surely introduced to others. See? Tell your friend them, things in time, best said, him a present to some, and are introduced to others. See? So nobody not get left out, Scan for dark, piss against the wall. Come again. Watch it. We are sling tongue. Listen them lyrics here. Crucial. We are dealing with progressiveness. History corner, things in time, progression. Not aggression, progression.
I sit down, keep better what you say. Hear me? Yes, yes, yes. But what must be said right now. Yes, yes. They say that silence is golden.
Them lyrics, they hurt people, them man. Chef Travis, Naya Bingy, come here. Yo, your skull cap gone. Hold it. You see me? I try to teach my father, you know. And him here. You see it, he here. But him keep turning the pages, them, you know. I mean, I say, stop it, man. You understand? As a young boy, and I say, stop it. You read right here. Where you go around this stuff? And up this and round this stuff. Confusing yourself. Read. Yeah. Stand steady. Now this is the original Rasta man, you know. I don't know about them what there. Them, hey, them one there are there. Come follow me. How you mean?
People wondering why the youths have to fight. But they like to see we the youths of.
Yeah, Thursday. Come follow me, man. We are there with push up your chest and I go on like screw face. Come. I never want to be nobody's footstool. Come. Run away, child. Stop running wild. Yeah.
Don't be no man footstool, brothers. Don't be no man footstool, sisters.
See, I tell you, man, when I dash my tongue and I hurt people, come here. Original Rastaman sound in the 12th tribe in Naya Bingi order. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Come. Turn your face, turn your face. Yeah. Where I go try to not throw out upon me. All this, turn your head. Turn your head, boy.
Whoa, ta 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 ta, yeah, la cha cha cha, ta 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 ta, yeah.
Turn your roll. Where I say, turn your head. Yeah.
Whoa, ta 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 ta, yeah, la cha cha cha, ta 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 ta, yeah.
Big soul.
The way you turn your eyes on me,
tell them,
like a ship sailing, I don't know where to go. But oh, I tell you that it must be love. I wish it was love, baby. I wish it was love.
him again, man. Come here. What you say?
Sounds of quality.
I'm telling you, man. I will deal with reality. You call Pat Anthony. I don't know how me get up there, sir. Come.
Sounds of quality. Musically.
Yeah, don't jump around the room, you know. You may tell you, man, cause disturbance.
Sounds of quality. Musically. Melancholy. Every other colleague.
Jump.
To turn up the volume. To turn up the volume. To turn up the volume. To turn.
Yeah, me know, see, when people listen to me, you know, that's what they want to do. You understand? And then you got another set of uncouth people that say, what happened to the dancer? Which dancer? Who is dancer? You mean them guy there? And them girl there? All them letter people them? No, Aya. Never, ever. You understand? Can't come here. When I work with that, when I defend that, when I say one thing and do another thing, you know. Islam, me did it. Tell me dead. You understand? So that means I can't go across that side and certain other things too, you know. You understand? I am taking a chance to make gonna listen something and try to trap when I like use the music like a bait. You know, get it? Like a bait. Cause if there's 50, which is more than that, internet radio, everybody play music. If there's 1,500, everybody play music. Every program. So you get 1 and 2 stations that have attacked something. But them attack England. Them attack women's lib. And I kind of something like that. You understand? And then when they want to throw a bone, not word in a bone, them come with like some of them at home now say, since 3 weeks ago, last month, them I say, how come him not talk about female we call it circumcision? So me not say nothing about it. Cause we're talking about Al-Islam and Muslim. But you want link them thing that to say that you got your bone. No. A lot of things happen across this earth. That is good, bad, and indifferent. Or you go associate that with Islam. You associate that with us as Africans. See? Now, for the culture of those people, you have to go see them and talk to them. Don't go see them and tell them from your European carnal mind that they are wrong. Oh, you know that? Because somebody tell you, say it's called mutilation, and that word they use. Okay. So am I promoting it? I am not. Am I respecting my people? I am. Am I respecting their customs and traditions and tribalism? I am. Would I want to change it? That's the question. That's the question. Would I like them to change from that? Would I like them to see that if they were going to incorporate that, they're supposed to deal with it from a medical perspective, having all the right tools and everything? Okay. But should it be outlawed if you was a minister? Yes, if I was a minister. But what would my approach would be? Since I'm a serious backative of social science, I would have to introduce the health and welfare to the people them and train them and make them see the difference and the indifferences. You understand? We're not going to stay out here like Englishmen and shout and holler at them and call it mutilation, this, that, and the other. So you can't throw that at Muslim. No, you cannot. And you should not. Then you have the next lot to talk about arranged marriage and everything. So, what is wrong with that? the words that you're using sounds kind of crude, right? Arrange. But I arranged my marriage. And I would arrange my son's marriage. Yes. So you want to come and fight me about it? Keep it backside where you there. And go sort out yours. And I'm sure by the time you finish, you know, say you don't arrange it, you know. Or you would like it to be arranged. See? So you work with a white wedding. We work with family. See? Family. And families. We work with bonding. And that we deal with. You understand? Okay. So if you can't cooperate at that level, keep your white wedding to yourself. And if you want to spend £20,000 on all your clothes and your maids and everything, and then a further £10,000 on your entertainment and all that, go ahead. You understand? Go ahead. But we arrange. And we have family bonding. So you work out which one seems to be more prosperous. If you want to deal with entertainment, then keep your entertainment to yourself. You understand? But we are dealing with family bonding. And we arrange. when I sit down here and fly them in from Tanzania and fly them in from this. We only fly them in if we are fly in the families. See? Yes. Or we are fly out to link with our extended family. So it's all being arranged. It's organized. You see it there? Check the words out. Yo, Pat Anthony, what were you saying before? Turn up the volume.
Sounds of quality, musically, melancholy, every other collie. To turn up the volume. 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 Give me your unconditional sounds, sounds that the youth want to hear, sounds that you hear everywhere. Hey, you better give me your unconditional sounds, sounds that the youth want to hear, sounds that you hear everywhere. Hey, you see the singers and the DJs, them I make one, the rhythm and the music in a combination. Me come in at the session, them I shake off me hand, say go on little youth, cause your vibe well strong. Give me your unconditional sounds, sounds that the youth want to hear, sounds that you hear everywhere. Hey, I got to say, to turn up the volume, to turn up the.
Yeah, man, see them excitement there? The youth, them get excited, tipper tone style, you know? Oh, gosh, man.
As you zang, blang, as you zang, zang, you better know, 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 yeah. You better know what you are doing, you better know, yeah. You better know what you are saying, you better know, cause Jah is watching you, and you better be true. You better know what you are doing. You better know, yeah. Every day you cried out for Jah, 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 Jah. Burn them with hot fire, fire, fire. Every day you cried out for Jah, 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 Jah. Every day you want more fire, fire, yeah. This is a message to all Rasta men. This is a message to all Bobo men. This is a message to all grease can. This is a message to each and every one. You better know. You better know. You better know. Yeah, yeah. You better know what you are doing. You better
See them words there? The word is serious, you know, and they're offensive to some people. Lick bone, come.
Now that I'm a man, it's a different man. It's nothing to understand. Youths of today, man of tomorrow, they need for love. Show them the way, teach them to pray, and Jah will take it. Youth man, it's nothing to understand.
See, education come free, you know. It come with some form of intelligence too. Listen.
Yeah, whoa, yeah. Yes, my brethren, it's been a long time. Yeah, since I've been trying up in Babylon. Yes, I know right from wrong. And yes, I know wrong from right. They try to show I say Jaja there.
See, with 12 Tribe now, when you listen to Jah love music, you know, you hear the scripture them. Come! Yo, Marcy and Aisha, what wanna say? Like we are going with, not you. Yeah! Arranged marriage, Aisha.
That's why they think I'm a fool, but it wasn't right to deprive me of what's mine, yeah. My art is on a solid foundation, so I always love my country, fellow man. I'm proud to know I'm black, 'cause it's a natural fact.
See, that the part them need to understand. That's why me do, how me do. Okay, let's go, Eddie Fix right. Come! Yo! Aisha Marcia, stand steady.
Well, girl, I love you so. I take for you once, little girl. I take for you twice, little girl. It seems like you never stays at home, girl. I take you at your home late last night. I thinking everything would be alright. When I didn't see you, I feel uptight, girl. I take for you once, little girl. I take for you twice, little girl. It seems like you never stays at home, girl.
Now I'm the ambassador. Yeah, so you see, we are skateboard through everything I can. All right, so we are going to leave you now. And we are look upon our sister, our mother who passed. And she brought us a lot of information through her own knowledge and the pursuit of more knowledge and to rescue us, the children of the slave, in the diaspora. And she done a lot of marvelous work and left so much for us. And she's just gone home to the Almighty. So we are going to go away. I will leave you with this because it's only this morning I realize of her gone home to the Almighty. So after this, recognize her and everything. For we mama. Come.
On Showbiz TV, my name is Natalia, and we are diving straight into the stories making the rounds in the world of entertainment. And we're starting on a rather sad note. Now, former education minister and renowned author of The Dilemma of a Ghost has passed on. And according to her family, the poet, playwright and academic born on March 23 in 1942 died peacefully at home yesterday, Wednesday, May 31. In a press statement, the family announced, and I quote, "With deep sorrow, but in the hope of the resurrection," informs the general public our beloved relative and writer, Professor Ama Ata-Edu, passed away in the early hours of this morning, Wednesday, May 31, 2023, after a short illness. Funeral arrangements would be announced in due course, it added. Now, the family requests of the general public privacy in its difficult moments of grief. Now, Professor Ama Ata-Edu received international recognition as one of the most prominent African writers of the 20th and 21st centuries. Her famous literary works include The Dilemma of a Ghost, Our Sister Killjoy, and Changes. Now, let's take a look at an interview that she did that, for the most part, a lot of people still go back to, even today, to make a reference to how intelligent this woman was.
We met you people 500 years ago. Look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever. Everything you are is us. I am not saying it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got? Nothing. Anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves. If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us. You brought us tuberculosis. We didn't have this big cough until white people came here. In exchange for Africa giving Europe 500 solid years of our people, I mean not Europe, the Western world, of our human beings to work your canes, to dig your gold, to take in gold itself, diamond, I mean, you know, fish, peanuts, palm oil, everything. In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing. And you know it. Nothing. And you look upon, you know, white folks look upon us like monkeys. It is true. It's in your literature. Hey, you know, some of your best thinkers have said this about us. Have you heard of all these Germans? Have you heard? Okay. Yes. They said, Lord Burton, yes. People like that, they said, we don't even have the brain of animals. That's what we've got from you people.
But don't you think that this is over now?
Over where? Is it over? Who said that AIDS came from the green monkey? Is it over? Is it over?
Well, if this is your impression, do you think that you can ever forgive us?
It's not a question of forgiveness. I have nothing against you. My point is that you did and you are doing for your survival what is necessary. We can't blame you for that. The fact that we didn't do enough for our own survival, and we are still not doing enough for our survival. That is not your problem. You know, even everybody that God has created has a sense of survival. You know, and if we don't develop it, we can't blame white people. You came here because you needed these things. You took gunpowder from the Chinese. You needed them to shoot people.
Do you consider aid as a new form of colonization?
Of course.
Why?
That's why. You know, my people, the Akans, we have a proverb. It says that good morning, thank you, is never enough to salt anybody's food forever. You cannot build your life on thank you, morning, thank you, English, thank you, God. You know, which is what aid makes. You know, we are always receiving. Nobody, look, and I don't care who hears, nobody anywhere in this world is going to send you their best of anything. Do you see? Neither, what I mean, people, you give us what you can afford. Aid is the leftover. Really, cannot be enough. What I mean, you can, when, you know, the world is, now the world is one place. So, there is nothing wrong if my house is in a crisis and you offered me something. There's nothing wrong, you know, because a relationship. But a whole nation, a whole continent cannot live forever on aid. And I think we are in Africa, we are in danger of making foreign aid a kind of policy. That, I mean, I think that we, you know.
Okay, and you can tell, you know, from this interview that this is a very intelligent woman who contributed vastly to, you know, education in Ghana, not only that, to politics as well. And I love that she said that everybody that God created has a sense of survival. We are all doing for ourselves what we can to survive. So the fact that people came in and took everything good we had, they did it for their survival. The question then becomes, what did we do for our own survival when we watched people take away all the good things we had? And up until today, the 1st June 2023, I don't think that anybody has been able on Showbiz TV. My name is Natalia, and we are diving straight into the stories making the rounds in the world of entertainment. And we're starting on a rather sad note now. Former education minister and renowned author of The Dilemma of a Ghost has passed on. And according to her family, the poet, playwright.
So may the Almighty bless her soul. Guidance.
Moses, 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 the first dreadlocks I ever known. Moses, Moses, yeah. Moses was a dreadlocks, a natty, natty dreadlocks. Moses was a dreadlocks, a natty, natty dreadlocks. See society fight against I, but they can't see. Moses was a dreadlocks, original dreadlocks. Moses was a dreadlocks, original dreadlocks. Then came his followers Peter and Paul, and not was a dreadlocks. Original dreadlocks. Moses was a dreadlock. Original dreadlocks. Show them Moses, show them, show them. Flash your lights in them things, yeah. I know they're gonna find out the truth someday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Open your mind and see what you'll find. The Bible ain't telling you no lie. Moses was a dreadlocks. Original dreadlocks. Moses was a dreadlocks. Original dreadlocks. Don't let the woman tell you, don't cut your hair. Just remember, Moses was a dreadlocks. He was the first dreadlock. Moses was the first dreadlock. Show them, show them. I know one day you'll find out for yourself.
So I say, share and expand what we bought with others, and cool, you know? Yeah, man. Yeah. So we present to some and we introduce to others. Give thanks. Share what we share what we put down. You know what I mean? Yeah, information, things and times, there with you. Guidance.